Remember to like and subscribe for more content. Am I the asshole for not paying to remove a well on my property so neighbor can replace their septic tank? My husband and I would want to hear another perspective on a problem we're having with our next door neighbor. A little background: we're friendly but not pals. We bought our house 8 years ago, and they may be 14. They operate a landscaping construction firm and have trucks/workers come down our residential street on a daily basis, I suppose to pick up work orders. They have done substantial landscaping in their backyard over the years, utilizing our side yard to get there because they built a large deck so close to the property border. Absolutely stunning landscape. They began working on the neighboring side yard 2 years ago, and we observed they planted little palms in front of our sprinklers. They assumed they had 6 to 8 more feet than they actually did. This was revealed when they moved our sprinklers after we mentioned them planting in front of them. A few weeks ago, a neighbor my husband and said they needed a new septic tank and that our unpermitted well was within 50 feet and would have to be relocated. My husband says we'll move it if you pay for it. She responds, well, it may be an issue because you don't have a permit. We make a few calls, and our realtor makes a few calls for us to the owner of the septic system. It's a small town, and she tells us they can ask for a variance, that it has to be approved, and so on. We are not concerned. When a neighbor knocks on the door, my husband and I talk to her. She wonders if we can help her and her husband because, while they can file for a variance, it costs $1,800 and there is no assurance that the county will allow it. She asks if we can simply relocate our well. We'll do anything if you pay for it, according to hubby. She claims that she shouldn't have to because we don't have a permit. This is where I could have been a jerk. I did raise my voice and tell her that we were not paying for anything and that you were attempting to make our problem your concern. She stated that it was our problem because the county now knows we don't have a permission and may order us to relocate. We stated that we had spoken with certain persons and that we were not concerned. And I reiterated, it's your problem, not ours, so quit trying to make it ours. She stated that we may take legal action. We closed the door and shouted, do what you have to do. We discovered a copy of the permit that the previous owners had left us. Her passive-aggressive threat of the permit irritated me, and I did confront her. So, am I the jerk for speaking up to neighbor? Verdict: not the asshole. Top comments. NTA. You have a permitted well. She can make whatever threat she wants. At some point she can either put up the legal action or shut up. Tell her she had threatened legal action so you will not talk to her through anyone but lawyers. And be sure to get one. Hopping on the top comment real quick, hey up, get a formal survey done of your land to make sure that they're not building on/trampling over your property. I'd put up a fence around your property to keep them off of it, and if their deck etc. extends onto your property, have them move/remove it from your side. The sooner the better, so they can't lay claim to it through adverse possession. NTA. You should find out if they got permits for their renovations, cause it sounds like their deck is a little close. NTA. I think they should consider themselves to be fortunate that you allowed them to walk through your land in order to get to theirs. That was very neighborly of you. 1. The palm tree issue was pretty crappy of them. 2. As a general rule, I think we all know not to touch things that don't belong to us. They should have asked you before they did it, and if you said no, respected that answer. The well? Absolutely not. That is a lot of money to expect you to shell out so that they can get a new septic tank. I doubt that's the only workaround. If anything, they could move that deck. From the outside looking in, it does seem like she is trying to make her problem your problem. I would have snapped sooner. NTA. Now to protect yourself. Get a survey done, and validate they are not encroaching. Put them on notice to not use your property for access to their property. They get to live with the consequences of their attempt at deceit regarding the well permit you do have. WTF did I just read? So you neighbors is taking advantage of you? Moved you sprinklers, use your property to get stuff done. NTA, your neighbor sounds like she's from the pit of hell. I'd charge her for trespassing every time she stepped foot on my property, or trying to force you to alter your property. Sounds like she has a problem and want you to pay for it. Screw the CSNT. They built the deck so close to what they thought the property line was that they had to use your yard to access it, and they weren't even right about what that property line was? I wonder what the local setback requirement is for that edge of their property. And you do have a permit for that well, so that's hilarious. Let her waste her time. Moving your sprinklers was ridiculous. You should have gone nuclear on these Oz years ago. Raising your voice was more than justified. NTA